Okay, we're back. Heimdallr Ocean Monster. Picked this up last week, I think, from AliExpress. Pretty quick shipping. It is, of course, a homage, a clone, whatever, of the Seiko Monster, the Gen 2 series, the SRP307, 309, 313, etc., etc. I guess it's closest to, well, I mean, in general terms, the stainless steel body gives it an SRP 307, 309, 313 look to it, but the dial is, that's more 455, but not quite as vivid. .42, 13 and a bit to the slightly domed or single domed sapphire. Just under 48 lug end to lug in with those drilled lugs as well. 20mm lugs, so if you want to change out the strap, no problem. Of course, it's got that Gen 2 Seiko Monster Gen 2 dial with the shark teeth indexes. They're actually nicely applied. Nice polished surround, polished bed in which they put the loom. It's C3 super lumen over, so we'll have a look at that later, but of course that does the job. Classic Monster handset, that kind of short, stubby, wide arrow for the hour, and I guess it's kind of a lance shape for the minute hand. See if we can get in on those. Yeah, it's kind of a almost like a blasted finish on those hands. So in contrast to the, well, you see the AR coating on that sapphire pop there. Yeah, a bit of a contrast to the surround for the indexes. The hands are more of a matte satin finish. It's pretty good, like that, no problem. Powering this, the micro brand favourite, it's the NH36 with the day and the date complication. I think the day is in screw down crown. Yeah, the day is in Chinese characters, I think, and English, of course. Dial on this one is a kind of graded blue to black. If you've seen some of my previous videos, I do have, you know, I mean, I've got a few examples of the Gen 2 monsters anyway. What I don't have is a black dial or a dark blue dial like this one. Was going to go for the black. Maybe I should have gone for the black, but I went for this blue anyway, just for a little bit of colour. What I have noticed though, that rehort, which is, again, it's kind of classic Monster, the way that the indexes fit in, I don't know if we can zoom in very well on this. The way that the indexes fit into the cutouts of the rehort is really well done. If you've got a Seiko Monster Gen 2, go and have a look at it in some macro, get up close to it, and you'll see that the, hold on, let me see if I can get a poker of some description. Never there when you need her. Around here, the way that the cutouts are perfectly surrounding the indexes. Now, if you've got a Gen 2 Monster of your own, go and have a look at what Seiko have done, and you'll see that there are discrepancies with the distance between this. So this one might be tight up to the index, this one's going to have a gap on it, and you know what, those usual kind of QC things that Seiko tend to overlook for us. But you know, I mean, that is a contrast. I think it's better done on a Heimdallr, to be honest. Of course, $120 click. Dive time bezel, unidirectional. It's not 100% perfect lining up, but you know, it's better than many Seikos. Of course, it's got that really grippy bezel siding, and you've got the these kind of sculpted, gouged out marks that match up with the case itself. It all means that this is a doddle to twist. Yes, of course, you've only got kind of 2 grabbing points here because of the shroud on the case, but yeah, it's okay. Solid steel bezel, engraved, I guess in paint filled indexes on there, and a Loom Pip at 12 o'clock. Pretty good matching up on those hollows or trenches on the bezel and the case. I think one of my monsters, original monsters I have, is like that when it's lined up. So, you know, you don't have to do much to better Seiko's QC, that's for sure. Crown, although it's got a guard around it, the knurling on it makes it really, really easy. And it screws down a treat as well. There's going to be no cross threading, certainly in the example that I have. Bracelet, 20, flares out to 23 like the usual Monster bracelet, comes down again to 20, hold on a minute, to a signed clasp. Double pusher, milled out scissor. I think that's probably just a pressed kind of clasp housing, but it's a milled out scissor. That's a certain upgrade. 3 micro adjusts. Pin and collar system on this, as it was on the original. The watch they're homaging. In fact, the bracelet is very, very similar to the watch they are homaging. One thing that it doesn't have though is that awkward step down. Again, in a Monster bracelet, it will taper down and then it will step down to the penultimate link. It will come in kind of a mill on each side. You know, I mean, it's not a deal breaker, but it doesn't look very good. Heimdallr have rectified that with a much smoother bracelet. Good, you know, good work all round, really. Let's have a look at the loom. There's the loom, C3 Super Luminova, does the trick. That's going to last for a long time as well. Nice. Even application. Good job on a loom. And there I'm wearing it now, 7-inch wrist. think I took out 4 links, 2 from each side, as far as I can remember. You know, people will complain about a pin and collar system. You know, it's a little more tricky, yeah, admittedly, than screw links or normal push pins, but it's once it's in there, it's very secure. And all I would suggest is that you're going to need a kind of vinyl headed, plastic headed hammer to knock the pin back in. But yeah, looking pretty good on a 7-inch wrist. Okay, too good, too bad. Too goods, well, the looks of it. If you are a Seiko Monster connoisseur, if you have ever seen a Seiko Monster Gen 2, this looks, apart from the branding, of course, this is almost identical. Certainly for the casual observer, it's exactly the same as a Gen 2 Monster. I picked this one up for £110 a couple of weeks ago, 3 weeks ago maybe, I can't remember how long. It didn't take long to ship, so 110 quid for a Gen 2 Monster. Original Gen 2 Monsters are expensive these days. They are, you know, I mean, for some of the more desirable models, they're 400, 500, 600 quid, even more. So the looks are fantastic, and obviously the upgrades of a sapphire crystal and that milled out scissor clasp, yeah, they're big improvements on the stock Seiko that we are homaging here. Too bad. Have a look on eBay now. Go to eBay now and have a look at Seiko Monster, and you're going to see these watches with a Seiko dial in them. Yeah, the ones I've seen have said that they are Franken watches. You know, it's a non-Seiko watch with a Seiko dial in it, but it's not going to take too long until some unscrupulous people are going to be buying these watches for 100 quid. They're going to be sourcing a Seiko Monster Gen 2 dial, putting it in there and selling it to you for 400, 500 and 600 quid. That's, you know, that gets me kind of nervous really, because I'm always on the lookout for a nice Seiko Monster. But I mean, do you know that it's going to be a Seiko Monster now? That's you know, that's a kind of, so we haven't had a look at the case back yet, have we? Have a look at that whilst I'm nattering. Oh, bollocks. Shit. Sorry. I'm struggling to look at that. So all the usuals on the case back, it's only kind of lightly etched into there. 200 meters water resistance. Well, I'm not going to try that, but perhaps it's certainly not going to be an ISO 6425 diver watch as the original was. So that's one of the bads. The second bad, and the one that you'll know if you've handled a Gen 2 Monster and you pick this one up, is that it doesn't feel like a Monster. It doesn't feel bad. The bracelet's fantastic. There's no sharp edges on it at all. That's great. But when we get here, we've got kind of sharp transitions here and here on the lugs. That's pretty sharp here as well. It's not smoothed out, it's not finished as well as that Seiko was, and you see that? Here, that Loom Pip sticking up proud, and you can feel that that might even get knocked off. So yes, the price is great, the upgrades are good. It looks like a Gen 2 Monster for peanuts money, but they're going to get cloned. They're going to get blagged into Gen 2 Monsters and sold for more than they are, and it doesn't really feel like a Monster. But having said that, it's a quality watch. I mean, I couldn't believe it when they started making these ones. Gone are the days when AliExpress are just punting out nasty Submariner homages. This is a good watch in its own right. Yeah, you know, I mean, IP doesn't mean much to these big Chinese manufacturers, but it's a quality watch. If you like the looks, which you probably don't if this is the first time you've seen it, but you will do the more you see it, trust me. Roshfooco watches and things with the Heimdallr Ocean Monster, and I'm out.